But the fun part about Phas is that it's like procedurally generated. Like the ghost is different every time.
Hey, hello everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Who's Joe YouTube Edition.
Who's Joe?
Who's Joe?
Yeah. Who is Joe?
You just got to be the most entertaining version of yourself. What and I just wanted to get a spur of the moment tattoo. The board was a very difficult moment for me.
Today I am here with Jojo, and why don't you tell us a little about yourself?
I'm Jojo. I'm a mom of 3. I'm a Twitch partner, full-time streamer, and gonna start dabbling again in YouTube soon.
So we're going to start off. I'm going to ask you the first question. We're going to count down, and when you start answering the first question is when we will start the staring contest.
Okay.
So the first question is my typical first question that I've done in all the other interviews is if you could collaborate with anybody on the internet on anything, who would it be? And we'll start the countdown now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I think I would be interested. I blinked. That took a long time. It's really hard to do while you're talking.
It is.
I practiced too.
I agree.
I would be really interested in collaborating. I've been trying to figure out a way to get with Brandon Ferris. I don't know if you know who Brandon Ferris is. He's a YouTuber.
What's up? Yeah, I was laying on the ground. You stepped right over me. I don't know how you didn't see me.
But he's just so funny, and my family loves all of his videos, and he started streaming recently. So I would really love to like get together and play a game with him. I think we would mesh really well. You're
a parent, and I'm a parent as well. And I know that it's difficult to be a creator or a creative while having children. So what's it like for you to be a streamer and stream as often as you do while you have children?
It's definitely hard. Sacrifice a lot of sleep, some meals, time with the kids. Obviously, I only get 2 or 3 hours a day maybe to just hang out in there with them, and they're not really hanging out with me. They're just playing with their toys and stuff. So but yeah, it's hard, especially because I stream long hours, but I only do it because I stream overnight. So it's like I have insomnia too. So if I was just sitting in the living room, I wouldn't be able to sleep in there anyway. So might as well just stay on and play games. But I've always been that way, like an overnighter that just almost never slept. So, but it's rough. It's balanced by my husband, Nick. I wouldn't be able to do any of it if he wasn't like watching the kids and taking care of the kids and stuff. So
you've got a lot of tattoos, but of your tattoos, do you have a favorite?
I do. Actually, ironically enough, it's not the one that everybody talks about. It's this one on my arm. It says 21 Pilots, and it's in the shape of Ohio. It's just because 21 Pilots, the band, I've been following them for 10 years now, and they just mean a lot to me, like lyrically, and they've got me through some things, and that's why I got that. This is actually going to be a rest of the sleeve for them when I get the time, so that's probably my favorite one.
Do you have stories behind the tattoos that you have?
I do. I have like 2 or 3 that are just religiously rated, and this one I have is just because it's Friday the 13th, and I just wanted to get a spur of the moment tattoo. But all of I have 3 Zelda tattoos. This one, and then one on my thigh, and one on I have 4 now because I got one on my ankle last year. So I already forgot. But all of my Zelda ones are basically a big memorial to my brother. I had a brother that died when I was 15. He was older than me. He was 19. And he's the reason that I even got into video games at all, because he taught me how to play all of them when I was younger. Like, he taught me how to play the original Legend of Zelda. And then we moved on to other ones. And then Ocarina of Time was one that we really sat on for a long time. And that's the one that had the most impact on me. So I just, instead of getting like wishy-washy, like in memory of tattoos like everybody else does, I'm just getting tattoos of the things that remind me of him and the things that I hold on to because of him, kind of thing.
So, of all the time you spent streaming, do you have like a favorite moment?
Oh man, there's been so many. It's been 6 years almost. Oh God. There was when I was on Mixer. It was my 30th birthday. It was in 2018. No, 2019. Yeah, 2019 on Mixer. It was my birthday, which is April 4th, and I was streaming, like doing a birthday celebration thing. And I got my partner acceptance email that night while I was live. So we got to combine both celebrations. And then my partner anniversary was always on my birthday. So it was just really nice. That was really memorable.
You're very skilled at gaming, but one thing that's very prevalent, and I don't even have to tell you in this, but one thing that's very prevalent in the streaming community and online community at large is that men greatly question the credentials of women streamers at the games they play, no matter how good they are at it. How do you typically handle a situation like that?
I mean, if you follow me on any of my socials, you know I'm very outspoken towards sexism of any kind because it's just dumb. I mean, yeah, I know men that are better than women at some games, but I know women that are far better than some men at some games. So it's just dumb. It's archaic. It needs to be dropped. If anyone ever comes into my channel with any of that stuff, they are immediately banned. We just don't tolerate it at all. And I'm always uplifting and supportive of my other female creators as well. We just make it the best attempt to make the community inclusive for everybody.
What do you think could be done on the whole to kind of uproot that mentality from the community? Because obviously there is no place for that mentality.
I mean, I think Twitch does a somewhat decent job of like promoting women when they want to. Obviously, only when they want to, though, because that's how companies work. But it really just, I think it just boils down to like stigmas. Like people are just raising their kids wrong. It really is all it boils down to. Like raising your kids is the most important way to make a better society. So if you're raising your kids with stigmas like racism or homophobia or sexism or any of those things, you're continuing that. So, I mean, as far as Twitch goes, it sucks that the top 1% are all men. And there's really nothing we can do about that. Honestly, some of those men don't even deserve to be where they are. They're not even entertaining. They're only there because they're like a white guy that's good at games. So it just has to die at some point.
If you could go to a young female streamer that's just now starting, what advice would you give her?
The number one advice that I always give to everybody, no matter what gender or orientation or anything, is just to be yourself when you're on stream, because a lot of people think they have to change who they are to twist and get more followers or more viewers or whatever. You just got to be the most entertaining version of yourself, whatever that means. If you need to put on a persona, then do that. If you can keep that up, and it's a lot to keep up a persona, so think about that. But like, just be yourself, because later down the line, you're going to get exhausted with being someone that's not you, or you're going to lose friends or whatever, or people can see through that usually. So I always just, people can vouch that I'm the exact same off stream as I am on stream. And that's what I like cherish about how I built my community is I've always just been to a point myself.
Now, I know when I've watched your stream at times, you've played with Josh from Let's Game It Out, and those streams have been absolutely hilarious. But how did you meet Josh?
I met Josh back in January. I was ending a stream. I was playing Phasmaphobia on my stream, and I was gonna go raid Josh because he was also playing it, and I'd never really spoken to him before or been in his channel much since he started. But before I raided him, I noticed that he was playing with someone else, and I was like, "Oh, weird. Who's this person?" And it was Jill, and I actually already knew Jill. It's only Jill is her Twitch name. I already knew her. We knew each other on Twitter for a while. We played Phas like back in October when it came out. We played Phas together. So I was like, "Oh my gosh, Jill!" So I went to Jill's channel, I raided her instead because, I'm going to raid my personal friend over someone that doesn't need views. And then I was just talking to Jill. I was like, oh my gosh, how did you meet Josh? And she was like, oh, it just happened and whatever. Like, we're just playing. And then she told him about me because they were playing and they had been playing for like 3 or 4 hours at that point. And he had never survived a map. And I was like, oh my God. So I just went back to his chat and I was just giving him tips and yelling at him and trying to force my knowledge into them so I could help them. And then he was just, finally, they were just like, that's it. We just need her to get in here and help us. So they invited me in for literally only one game. And then I left. And then Josh just friended me on everything. I guess he really enjoyed my company. And that was pretty much it.
How do you maintain your sanity when you're playing with Josh? Because he's a chaotic soul.
He is true chaotic. It's not as hard as people think, just because I greatly enjoy his company. He's like a male version of me. He's just a little bit more chaotic than me. If he's ever doing something and it's like, pressing on me a little bit, I'm like, it's okay. He's only doing it for the content. It's okay. And I just walk away and I do something else. But then when I walk away and do something else, he gets scared because he knows, he's like, oh no, I pissed her off. And then he panics and tries to fix it.
Like with the boar?
Yeah, the boar was a very difficult moment for me.
Game happy.
Boar loves me.
Yeah. And you can hit it as many times as you want. It's like a happy simulator.
You said I.
You can tell when my voice gets really high pitched like that. I can't control that. Like, that's just pure sadness, pure disappointment, super upset. And I couldn't even do anything about it because he ran away. He ran across the whole map away from me. So, yeah.
So you mentioned Phasmaphobia, and personally, you're one of the best Phasmaphobia players I've ever seen play. But what's your strategy when you're approaching a round, or I don't know what it's called, a match of Phasmaphobia? I don't know. I don't play Phasmaphobia. When you're approaching a house.
Oh, right. Like a contract. Okay, yeah. I mean, it's pretty easy for me now to just like mundanely grab my things and walk into the house and find the ghost. But the fun part about Phas is that it's like procedurally generated. Like the ghost is different every time. It's in a different place every time. It has a different personality every time. It has different varying levels of aggression. So it literally is just never the same. So my approach is always just to find the room as fast as possible and then get all the equipment that I know I need in the house as fast as possible so that hopefully I can just solve it before it gets too pissed off. And most of the time that works. But when I'm playing with Josh, it usually doesn't work. Or if I'm playing with other people in general, it really doesn't work because people just tend to slow things down a little bit.
Is it true that you hadn't lost at Phasmaphobia before you played with Josh?
Yeah, that's true. To be fair, though, it actually wasn't Josh's fault necessarily. There was a big giant update that night, or the night before, that changed the entire core of the game and how the ghosts work and all of that stuff. The engine was completely changed. So the house that we were on when we died, which was Grafton, the way they changed the game is that the ghosts can just walk through doors when they're hunting now, and they open them as well. Grafton is one of the houses that has no true hiding spots. A true hiding spot's like a closet or a locker. Grafton has none of those because it's a big farmhouse. It doesn't have any lockers or any closets. So Josh died. And part of the update at that point, which they've actually reversed, probably because of this situation, they reversed it. But it was when one of your teammates dies, their 0% sanity is factored into the team average. So Josh was giving us a big fat goose egg. So we were just going to be stuck in constant hunts. And I can't remember what the ghost type was that night, but yeah, we died because we just couldn't get away from it.
In Phas, is there like a specific clue or a specific trigger that lets you know that things are about to get bad?
I mean, kind of not really though. Sometimes the ghost will like start ramping up, like throwing more and more things, or hissing in your ear or presenting itself. Those don't necessarily mean it's gonna ramp up. It can start hunting at literally any time. You can like walk in the front door and it'll just start hunting. Like some ghosts can actually just do that at 100% sanity. So no, not really. You just can kind of tell once you've played enough how long you've been in the house that your sanity is not okay. And then I just leave before it hunts, or I try to.
Well, I went back and looked at some of your YouTube videos, and I know you mentioned your YouTube videos.
Okay. Why did you do that? They're awful.
Did you enjoy doing the Mojo Minecraft series?
I did, honestly. Like, most of my Minecraft play up to that point had been with people, like on multiplayer servers and whatnot, and most of it in creative as well. So that was my first real, like, going into it blind, like, survival experience. And I was doing it completely alone. And it was also my first situation where I was left to just talk to my own thoughts. So a lot of it is just rambling, and I sound like a nutty person, and it's some of it's awful, but it was fun. I genuinely enjoyed just sitting down and playing, even if it was just for like 10-minute segments for YouTube, and then seeing where I went. I had a lot of crazy happy luck in my original Mojo playthrough of Minecraft. So yeah, it was lucky. I built right on top of the end portal on accident. Just lucky chance. So it worked.
What do you think you would do if or when you do come back to YouTube and start making videos again?
I have some stuff in the works right now. It's pretty much just like highlight reels, because I haven't done YouTube in like 8 years. It's been a long time. 7 years? I don't know. I quit when I had kids because it was just too hard and streaming was easier. So I have like highlight reels planned. I'm starting off small just to see if they're even accepted at all by my current subs. And then maybe some other stuff later. But I don't plan on doing any like dedicated recording for YouTube because I just don't have time.
Well, I think we've got enough footage at this point. I've gone about 22 minutes without blinking.
Wow, congrats. I went about 3 seconds.
I guess we've hit the point where I'm going to get you to say I was not able to beat Joe in a staring contest.
I was not able to beat Joe in a staring contest at all.
I am now 28-0. And what I'm going to get you to do is there somebody that you would be willing to call out to come on and be a guest in one of my interview videos?
That was a good question. I do know a lot of people. I don't know, but I know my husband definitely would want to do a staring contest with you because he feels he could challenge you.
I'm open to pretty much anybody. So if he'd want to come in and be in one of my interview videos and do a staring contest with me, then that'd be perfectly fine with me.
Yeah, I mean, he has streamed before, and he does sometimes. He just can't when I am, obviously. So technically, he is a creator in a way.
Alrighty, so what do you have going on? What do you have to plug? What do you have to talk about?
Well, my birthday is next Sunday, so I'm just planning my week around that. I'm having a birthday like celebration stream on Friday, but I don't have anything planned. I'm just streaming and letting people celebrate that it's my birthday. I know some people have sent me things that are coming to my PO box and stuff, but other than that, I don't really plan things for my birthday. I don't really celebrate my birthday. I'll celebrate my kids and stuff, but mine, I just am like, whatever. I was born today. Cool. But I know, I think Josh said he wouldn't be available for it. So pull some people together and play some games. It's really my only plan. I do D&D sometimes. Also, my actual birthday is next Sunday, so I actually have D&D that day. So that'll be fun. D&D birthday.
This video is going to be posted on Tuesday. So for all of those of you that are watching, make sure that you go by JoJo's stream this Friday and wish her a happy birthday. I'll make sure to put a link to her Twitch channel in the video description.
Thank you.
Well, I guess that's going to be it for another episode of Who's Joe YouTube Edition. If you haven't already liked the video, go and do that. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, go ahead and do that. If you haven't already followed JoJo on Twitch, go ahead and do that. Links in the video description. We'll sit here and stare at you until you do it.
Or I'll try and fail.
Or she'll try. I mean, that's all you can do. All you can do is try.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it. We will see you the next time.